What's up everyone, Big Dan here. I was not initially planning to make a video about the Fallout 4 re-release, but after seeing how undercooked, overpriced, and overall low effort this product truly was, I decided I needed to chime in and make a video because I think the sorry state of affairs of Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition are just one more disappointment in a long string of disappointments from Bethesda in recent years. And to me, it really shows that they've gone truly mask off at this point, and they do not care at all about their customers and what we want out of the Fallout franchise. So in this video, we're going to break down exactly what went wrong with Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition and why it currently has over 75% negative reviews on Steam. So for starters, let's dive into what Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition is. As many of you know, yesterday was the 10th anniversary of Fallout 4, and much like Bethesda did with Skyrim back in 2021, they decided to do a re-release of the game called Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, which bundles in some Creation Club content and some other new updates to the game. But compared to Skyrim's Anniversary Edition, this is much thinner on content and I think much more egregiously priced given what we have. So first of all, I want to talk about the confusion with purchasing this product to begin with. There are 3 different versions that you can buy it on Steam. If you don't have the game at all, you can buy the full price version, which includes the entire bundle and the base game, and that's going to be $60. Another thing listed in the store is the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition upgrade. And this is for people who already own the base game. But what's a little confusing about it is that this doesn't just bundle in the new content, it also packages in the DLC. And given the way the bundle works on Steam, even if you already own the previous expansions like Far Harbor, you can still buy this bundle and overpay for the product essentially. So if you're a player who already owns all the DLC and the base game of Fallout 4, what you'll want to do is buy the $20 version, which is just the new Creation Club content. But I wouldn't even recommend doing that. Now overall, this is not really great value for your money. You're just getting a handful of paid mods that are pretty much lower quality than a lot of the free mods you can get out there like Fallout 4 London and other projects of that nature. A lot of them are just adding new weapons into the game or very short quests that are just like go find a note, go kill an enemy, and then go loot some new unique item that isn't in the base game. It's not really worth $20 in my opinion for all of that content, but the pricing isn't even really the worst part. Another issue is that many players are not even able to load this content after they've purchased it. And this is one of the big reasons why the product has so many negative reviews right now.
All of this just works.
The Creation Club menu totally bugs out for a lot of players. People are buying the Anniversary Edition upgrade and then they're not able to install the content that they just paid for. It really shows that Bethesda didn't test any of this stuff at all and they just pushed it out onto the market with no concern at all as to whether people were actually going to be able to play the game and play the stuff that they just purchased. And then just looking at all of Bethesda's social media posts today, like hyping up this release when they know it's totally broken, it's just wild to see. It reminds me of the saying that, you know, someone will piss on your boots and tell you it's raining. But in this case, I don't even feel like Bethesda is going through the process of gaslighting us. They're just like, hey, enjoy the piss. So again, it just shows a blatant disregard and lack of respect for the customer to just totally push something out that's completely not ready. On top of this, they're not even really fixing a lot of things that you would want to see in a re-release or like a definitive edition of the game, if you will. One issue that I've noticed over the years as technology has gotten better is a lot of the technical aspects of the game of Fallout 4 are tied to the frame rate. So for instance, if you have a really high frame rate, you may notice dialogue lines cutting off.
A sure sign that you adapt quickly to stressful. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have. You have traveled very far and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication, it's good to finally meet you. after all this time.
But even with the release of the next-gen update or the new release of the game here in Anniversary Edition, they've not added an option to cap your frame rate in the menu. So literally tried to just boot up the game to check the settings, and yeah, I'm getting the bug where I can't close the game now. It just will not close out the desktop. It's cooked. It's cooked. So it's just stuff like this that would be simple fixes, quick wins, and that would make the product a lot more polished. Bethesda doesn't do any of this stuff. They just put out the absolute lowest effort stuff that they can do and that they feel that they can get away with and charge for.
People will buy anything. That doesn't mean you should do it.
And I think that's really the big problem with this. Going back to Fallout Day a few weeks ago, when they released the announcement for this and the sort of re-release that they're doing of Fallout New Vegas that included the physical edition, again, they got backlash for that because at the current moment, Bethesda is basically delivering everything that nobody is asking for and none of the stuff that we actually want. From my perspective, there's about 3 things that the Fallout player base really wants at this point. They want a remaster of Fallout 3, they want a remaster of Fallout New Vegas, and they want Fallout 5. And Bethesda is like, we ain't doing any of that stuff, at least for right now. Here's a bunch of overpriced slop that we just slapped together in like 5 minutes. And it's so insulting to see this stuff happen over and over again. Now, Bethesda has really been losing their way for a long time, but you always just kind of hope in the back of your mind, like maybe they can turn it around. Maybe they can actually make a good product or make a good business decision. And earlier this year, they did have what I would consider to be a relatively big win with the Oblivion remaster. Now, the Oblivion remaster wasn't perfect, but it was a very fun game to dive back into, and it was great to see this like fresh coat of paint on a game that many of us loved from earlier in our youth and whatnot. It was good to see them actually get a win for once after the issues that they had with Fallout 76 and then Starfield being kind of a lackluster game. Finally, to see Bethesda do something that was seemingly right and that people were happy with was good. And then they turn right around and they sort of burn all of that goodwill with the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. So let's go over some of these reviews and just dig into what exactly players are having issue with right now. So here's the top review that we have right now. Be a gamer in 2025. You purchase the content, you don't get the content in-game. Bethesda's update causes even more crashes. Trying to quit the game causes it to crash. GG. It is bugging out like crazy and not giving out all of the creations that are mentioned in the bundle. Edit, game absolutely refuses to let you attempt to install anything involving the Creation Club and freezes upon launching and quitting the game to the point where you can't even use Task Manager or Steam to force close. For the love of God, Bethesda, this is worse than Skyrim's anniversary launch. Fix your game. Classic Bethesda. Update your game, breaking both the base game and the passion-driven mods created for free to include new paid content. Launch it, and then have it not work or apply to anybody when bought, making your purchase of this bundle essentially void. Now please enjoy your nylon bag, asbestos power helmet, and their magnum opus, Fallout 76. So yeah, at this point, it is pretty disappointing that the launch of Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition and what we're actually getting in this game is so poorly thought out and just low effort and low value overall. You know, honestly, as someone who's been a fan of Bethesda games for a long time and have just kind of seen the downward trajectory that they've been taking over the last few years, I can't say I'm surprised. And I think that that's also a big issue, is that, you know, is anybody shocked by this? I was not expecting Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition to be that great of a value. I figured, hey, they'll probably just slap together some Creation Club content, push this out. Maybe they'll fix some of the bugs that they introduced with the next-gen update that they did last year, which they created more issues in the game that they didn't fix for another 18 months. So, again, Bethesda is really just treating Fallout 4 like the bastard child of their catalog. You know, with the Fallout TV show bringing in over 60 million viewers last year and Fallout Season 2 on the way, the overall interest in the Fallout universe probably hasn't been greater at any point in its entire history. So to see them treating the franchise in this way and just trying to slap together anything as a lazy cash grab to capitalize on this, rather than getting to work on making the stuff that people actually want, like the Fallout 3 and New Vegas remasters or Fallout 5, it's just disappointing. So there you have it. We've got I I don't even know what to say at this point, man. I don't even know what to say. So I'm just going to wrap up the video here. Till next time, this has been Big Dan. I should go.